I think, we don't start.
The link below, do you see it? Why are you watching me still? You haven't clicked the link yet. Click it. Click it. Click the link right now.
Oh, so Shemeka, a.k.a. Coach Mei. I like it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for coming through, doing a sit down with me.
Anytime.
Yeah, and I see a lot of your stuff because you're always doing stuff on social media.
Yeah, a lot.
But I like how active you are on social media. So when I'm on social media, I'm always looking for people to have on the show.
Right.
Always looking for people to connect with and network with. And then I saw you. I kept seeing your stuff. So I was like, what does she do? So I clicked on it, and then I saw that you had like a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's good though. I like it. And then I told my wife. I was like, oh, I reached out to so-and-so. And she was like, oh, yeah, I know her. I was like, she knows everybody I reach out to get on the show.
Yeah,
she knows
that's
everybody. Yeah, she knows everybody. And I'm all excited that I got somebody. And she's like, oh, yeah, I know them. I'm like, oh, well.
Oh.
Take away what I had going on.
That's cool.
So I guess just tell me a little bit about you, where you're from, some of the stuff that you do.
Okay. I am originally from Mississippi.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, I'm from the country.
I got family in Mississippi,
Really?
Louisiana. Yeah,
Yep.
we're all Southern.
I'm from Mississippi. That's where I'm originally from. I moved to Florida after the military. So that's how I got here to Florida. And everyone asked me why, how did I get here? And it was a dart throw.
Really?
Yeah. I have no family here, no nothing.
Wow. So you just came out here dolo.
I just came out here dolo.
Were you nervous? You scared?
I was nervous. I think I sat in the mall parking lot on my lunch break from school, and I cried because I'm like, I don't know if I should go back to closer to the military base or if I should go back to Mississippi. So I stuck it out, and I've been here for 15 years.
Really?
Yeah, but I did cry.
Yeah?
Because I'm in a new city. I'm young. I was young at the time, and I didn't know anybody, no family, no friends, and I was just here alone.
Wow.
Yeah. And look at me now. I got friends.
Yeah. You got friends. So what parking lot were you in?
Fashion Square Mall.
Yeah?
Yep. I was in the parking lot crying because I didn't know if I was supposed to be here or not. Did I make a wrong decision? And my time here in Orlando has been fulfillment of purpose.
Really? Well, okay, you brought up purpose. See, now we're going deep
my
already.
Bad,
No,
my bad.
no,
Let's see
nope.
you back out.
No, you started it now. You said purpose. So like, and I like to ask people about purpose because I believe purpose is everything. Like,
Right.
It's kind of everything. So what do you feel like your purpose is?
Honestly, I think my purpose is, at the end of the day, all of it kind of comes back to me being to other people what I didn't have.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is bringing the motivation. I've been in places of complete discouragement. That day I was sitting in the parking lot at the mall, I was kind of like at my breaking point because what do I do now? I was searching for purpose. I didn't know how to find it. So, and I think that's the gist of everything that I do is helping people discover that and get over the discouragement, help them come out of that place of trying to figure it out. So I think that's kind of like the main thing, the core of what I do.
And how did you find that?
How did I find that? Staying the course, being consistent, facing my fears, because it was scary being here alone. And not only was I here alone, I had a child. So it was me and my child. And she was at the time like 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
So you're not only looking for purpose for yourself, it's like, I have to figure this out. Because I have someone with me, I have someone dependent on me. So I have to figure this out. So me facing the unknown, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here, but I trusted my instincts, I trusted my gut. And 15 years later, being consistent, not moving, even when it was trying, even when I didn't know how, sticking it out. And 15 years later, all of the fruit, all of the things I didn't know, I'm now seeing the manifestation of what's on the other side of fear.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah.
I commend people that are able to like make moves like that. I do want to move. I do want to get out of Florida actually. So I commend people that make that jump because there's a lot of uncertainty that goes into that.
Yeah.
You know, we had a guest on the show and she came from a different country. She was an immigrant. So her mom, you know, came over here and like that right there is like huge coming from another country. So I commend people that do that because it speaks a lot to who they are as a person.
Yeah.
You know, and their fearlessness. And I strive to be a person that moves in spite of fear.
Right.
So what branch were you in and how long were you in for?
I only did 3 years.
Okay.
Army.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I did the minimum because I was scared. Again, I did the minimum. Some people say you can only do 4-year minimum.
Yeah, I thought that was the case.
See, that was God. It had to be because it was just 3. I asked them for 3 years. I was originally supposed to go to Germany.
Wow.
For my first duty station, but I was scared to be away from everybody.
Wow.
But I still made that jump afterwards, right?
Yeah.
I moved away from everybody, and so I did 3 years active duty, served 1 year tour in Iraq, and when I came back from Iraq, I was here in Florida. I came to Florida.
So you didn't get stationed here?
No.
You just decided
After the military, I went through the map, and I went through the states, and I dart throw. So I'm moving to Florida.
Wow.
That's how it happened.
You just knew you wanted to move though.
Yeah. I knew I didn't want to stay around the Army base because I seen what happened to, well, not that bad things happen to the military people. It's the fact that a lot of them they can't find a purpose.
Right.
It's like they work regular jobs, and nothing's wrong with working regular jobs, but it's like their life went downhill after that. And I'm like, I don't want that because they had no direction.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do after that. And a lot of soldiers, veterans, struggle with transitioning afterwards. And I didn't want to get stuck in that cycle. So
Wow. So he was like, I'm getting out of here.
I gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So what about your family? You still visit back?
Yeah, a lot more now during this downtime that all of us have. I have been going back and forth. But when I left originally, I used to always travel back. Because I miss them. I want to be there. So I'm always on the highway going to visit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So there's a couple things.
Okay.
So let's talk about your combat medals and awards. What are those?
You know, I didn't think much of it, but as I look at them, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you did something.
I
you
did
that.
something.
Yeah.
So the combat, I have the Global War on Terrorism medals. You can get that one out of Iraq Campaign Medal, which is the Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, and the Global War on Terrorism Medal. And I have that one because I was originally, they don't offer that one anymore. Because I went that first wave. So it's like, when we first went over there, and I'm sorry, every time I talk about Iraq, I'm like, I be in my feelings a little bit. I be in my feelings. But, you know, that first tour over there, what a lot of people don't know now is a convenience. But when we first went, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
There was absolutely nothing there. And the people who went on that first tour basically set up, you know, for everyone else to come. And so when we came, we went out there, I'm like, so where we sleeping? After we got off the plane and everything, we're in the middle of the desert and there's nothing there but our trucks and our bags. And at that moment, I was just like,
this is about to be rough.
This is about to be rough. How can I get out of this? How can I go home? I didn't know how I would make it over there. I really didn't know. I was freaking out. I was panicking.
Wow.
So, but the awards, as you asked me, just a lot of different good conduct medal award, overseas ribbons and medals. So I'm actually proud of those things because it's a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's a great accomplishment. And I think it's something that I haven't really acknowledged or understood the magnitude of what took place. And I was only 18.
Wow.
Oh, let's back up. I was 18 and my daughter was 4 months.
Wow. So you left for 4 months?
I left a 4-month-old.
Wow.
When I came back, she was walking and talking.
Wow.
So imagine that.
How did you feel doing that? I mean, I'm pretty
It
sure
was
you was
emotional.
like, I gotta go.
I have to go home to my baby. Like it was really rough, especially leaving a child that small back home. It was difficult to process because you don't know if they're taking care of her. Is she gonna remember me when I come home?
Right.
So it's like those little things, and those are moments that I won't be able to get back.
Yeah.
You know, because I missed that first moment, that first year with my child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was
Wow.
tough.
Wow.
It was tough.
And the father wasn't around at the time?
No.
Not at all.
I was married to her father, but
At 18?
yeah,
Wow.
and you couldn't do that back in Mississippi. You had to have a parental signature and stuff. But when I went to the military, you can get married there.
Oh, so you were married in the military?
I was married in Tennessee. They let you get married at 18.
Really?
Yeah.
And no signature?
No parent signature.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I brought him with me, and we got married there. Yeah. But we separated. So before I left,
Before you left to
Yeah.
Florida?
Before I left and went overseas to Iraq. So that was
before you went to Iraq?
Yeah.
So that was a short marriage?
I would say it was short. Him and I were together for a very long time, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That won't have to be on, that situation will have to be on another episode. Y'all have to do a special
It's a whole
edition.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a whole
dang.
segment in its own series, seasons, 1, episode 5. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
But no, he was not in the picture. He has not, we still communicate and stuff like that. And I make sure he's a part of my daughter's life. But really, it's just me and her the entire time.
Wow.
So he left during that time.
So the reuniting with your daughter, when you came back from overseas, how was that? How was her reception of you? Because at 4 months, I mean, they're kind of aware that mommy's there, but there's really no official bond. So what was that like?
When I came home, my mom had my picture because I sent pictures. We had the little Polaroid cameras back in the day with the little snap ones. So I would send the whole camera back because we can't get them developed over there.
Right.
So we sent the camera back, and so they had pictures of me in my uniform, and they made her, that's mommy. So when I walked through the door, she came around the corner on a little tricycle thing.
Wow.
Man, it tore me up. It tore me up, like seriously. And she knew, the moment she saw me, I knew she knew me. She recognized me. Even though she hadn't seen me, she knew I was mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And now I'm like, I get on her nerves now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm still like, I don't want my baby to go. I'm like, you made it to work? Are you home? So, seriously. She don't understand why I'm so clingy to her. Yeah. Yeah, I love her. So
and how old is she now?
she's 18.
So is she on her way out, or is she still?
She's clingy a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think I get on her nerves, so she might dip.
Yeah.
She might go soon.
College or like for work reasons?
She want to go to college. She want to be a pediatrician.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we're working to get her towards that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So my oldest is 6.
Okay.
So what am I looking for? And then of course Sarai's 3, Seth is 1. What do we have to look forward to?
The independency that creeps in.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the, you think they're gonna always be your baby, and when they try to separate from being the baby and say, "Hey, I got this," that's gonna be the part like, so you don't need me. It's gonna kick in. It's like, and it's just gonna be subtle. It's not gonna be a drastic change. It's gonna be very subtle. But yeah, the independency.
How old? When does that come? What's the age?
It's gonna creep in between about 15, 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know when to chain them to the bed.
Yeah, 15 to 17.
Okay, 15 we getting them.
Yeah, 14 they're still a little cling a little bit. Once they tap into 15, 17, any moment now. Yeah, you just wake up and they're different. Yeah, it's exciting.
Right now, my son, he doesn't live with me. He's from my previous relationship. But like, now, like, he's 6, and he used to come over here, and when I used to see him, he used to always be, when am I going home? When am I going home? When am I going to mommy? Now he bugs her to come see me.
Oh.
So it's done switched a little
Yeah.
bit. I went to pick him up tonight, and he was sleeping. He woke up because he was in the backseat sleep. He woke up and he was like, "Dad!" And he just jumps out the car, and he gets in the car. Time to go home. And he gets in the car, and I was just like, "Oh man!" So I love the fact that he's like on me now.
Yeah.
You know, the other two, they're on me too, but for him it's different because he's not here during the week.
Yeah.
You know, so that's awesome. So I'm not looking forward to him saying, "Daddy,
I
I'm
got
straight."
this. Yeah, it's gonna kick in. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the domestic violence about? I know it's a hard transition. We go from kids to that. It's kind
How did you creep in on that one? Like,
I just kind of like move it. See, I just talk. My segues probably need help. The way I segue.
He was like, "Yeah, that's fun." Now back to
But
what
now
we
let's
said.
yeah. Do you want to go in on that right now?
I'm fine. It's like, you know, him and I are at a place right now where I forgave him.
Right. Okay.
And we try not to. It's like I want to talk about it to help other people, but at the same time, I don't want to damage him because he's tried to heal and grow from that place.
Right.
And we're both trying to move forward from that. And my daughter doesn't know a lot of the stuff that happened.
Wow.
So, you know, some of it even affected her. So that's the reason why I don't, I try to leave it alone, because if I open it up, then I have to explain some things of why I had to leave, leave the marriage.
Right.
Yeah, because my daughter was injured. So
Wow.
that's what made me leave.
When it starts affecting the family. We have another young lady. I'm just so used to. I still
it's
call.
fine, because I'm still trying to be young.
I still call women girls. I got to get out of that.
It's fine.
It's just I'm just so used to it, you know. I'm not used to being 35, you know. But we have this woman coming on later, and she was a survivor as well, man. Like she wrote a book and put her story out there. So I mean, I personally, when it comes to that, that's a sticky thing, man, because it happens to a lot of women. And you know, I know most of the time when you think about it, you always think it's an old issue, it's an old problem, because you hear stories about situations going in the 80s or 70s or 60s, you know. But a lot of people don't understand that that's still a thing today.
Yeah, it's still a thing today. Not only is that a thing today, I've spent years in therapy.
Wow.
Years in therapy.
Wow.
Even though I've been going for the post-traumatic stress disorder, a lot of the trauma was from that, but a lot of the trauma came from that as well.
Yeah.
So it's and I didn't let people rush me in my healing process.
Smart.
I allowed myself the time to grieve and truly heal from what I went through. Yeah. And a lot of people who try to advise you on how to heal, how long it takes to heal, never been through the things that you've been through, so they can't properly tell you what it would take to heal from that particular experience.
Yeah. So, you know what? Talk about Afghanistan though, really quick. I contracted in Afghanistan for 2 years. My brother, one of my older brothers are twins. They were Marines. They got sent over to Afghanistan around the first wave too.
Yeah.
And they were like, they were sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
They was like, they was in holes or stuff like that. And they even used the bathroom in the holes and stuff like that. That was rough.
Yeah, that's what it was like over there.
Jesus.
We slept on a hard floor. We had a sleeping bag, but if you had to go to the bathroom, you had to dig
a hole.
You had to dig a hole.
I was over there.
There was no privacy.
None at all.
No.
Was there a lot of women over there?
Yeah.
Wow, so I was deployed too.
A combat support group. So.
Oh, so you were going?
Yeah, it was women. Yeah. They don't think that though. They're like, oh, women don't go to war. Women. I'm like, no, we were right there. Yeah. When I did my 2 years in Afghanistan as a contractor, we had tents. So we had tents, you know, then we had the HESCOs and stuff like that, you know, bunkers for incoming and things like that.
because we're on a military base
Yeah.
as contractors.
You gotta have the same protection.
Yeah, yeah. So we had that, and then we had however they simulate indoor plumbing with those blobs, things full of water and stuff like that. Yeah, so we had that. So it was a little bit more than what you. And then we had a tent with the plywood and a 10 by 10.
Yeah, we got to that months later, like 6-7 months later. That's what we got to.
Y'all built that though.
Yeah.
Or did
we built that? So when we got set up where I was in Mosul, Iraq, which is North Baghdad. Okay. And when we got there, we actually took over the airport in Mosul. That was one of the airports, and this is kind of where we set up.
Yeah.
We had the little things you're talking about filled with water. We made showers out of them, different things. Yeah. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I did my 2 years. I would have stayed. I had my son. If I didn't have my son, I'd have stayed over in Afghanistan. Yeah. I probably did a good 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's good money.
Yeah, that's why I'd have stayed. That's the only reason I would have stayed.
Yeah, it's good money.
But it's like you do become family though, because you see the same people every single day, all day.
Yeah.
You know, people think they get tired of their coworkers here, but you get to go home.
Yeah.
You go home, your coworker lives in the next room,
Correct.
the next room next to you, like that. Y'all just always together. So I will say a lot of people were more calm because of that. Like, and then you're in a war zone and we're all feeling the same thing.
Yeah.
We all don't want to really be here.
Correct.
We're just here for the money.
Correct.
So, I mean, it kind of forces you to build that camaraderie, you know, and get over stuff a lot faster than over here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the coach. Let's talk about the coaching brand then, because, we'll start with the coaching brand.
Okay.
So what's all encompassed in that? Are you like a life coach? I know now you're doing fitness.
Yeah, I'm getting back into fitness for me.
Oh, that's just for you.
That's for me.
You're not coaching.
I'm not trying to coach them. I'm trying to get me together. But that's a part of living a healthy lifestyle and becoming better and evolving is being fit. You know,
I can use it too.
Yeah,
I'm getting my dad
healthy.
bod. It's like
Not the dad bod.
it's coming in strong.
So the coaching brand honestly started from because I've been in ministry for a very long time. I got ordained very early. I think like 2010. I was young. I was really young, and I experienced a lot of things in ministry, as most people, which is probably another subject for another day. But a lot of things that I saw, a lot of people that came from the outside, a lot of them were looked down on. A lot of them were rejected, misunderstood, and they didn't have the tools they needed outside of listening to the sermon, praising, and then going home. And this is kind of where my coaching brand comes in at, where I wanted to give people what they needed, still give them God, but give them life skills. How do you make it after the sermon?
Right.
When you go home and you praising and you don't have nobody to high five, how can you still get up? And that's why I created the brand, because I wanted to reach the unchurched people. The people who don't want to really walk back through the doors. And that's why I created this brand, to offer them that motivation, give them those words to help them grow and change their lives in a package that they won't feel rejected. Because a lot of people, like, they found out that you are a minister or you are a pastor or you churchy. It's like they don't want to hear nothing you have to say. They already done prejudged you. So me coming up with this coaching brand is open. You can come. I'm gonna tell you this one experience. This girl reached out to me and she told me she needed help, but she don't know if I help people like her. And I said, what do you mean, people like you? She said, with my lifestyle. She was gay. And I said, absolutely.
Right.
I do. Because I'm not here to say, oh, well, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that.
Right.
My job is to speak to your soul and give you the same word that everybody else get. The word gonna work out whatever needs to be worked out.
Right.
So the fact that she know that I'm a woman of God or I'm involved in church, she felt like I couldn't help somebody like her. So how many more people feel like that?
Yep.
So that's the main reason why I created the brand, so that people who want God and need him, but they're being rejected because of their open sin.
Right.
So
we talk so much about the open sin.
Only.
And I feel like the only open sin, well, there's two open sins that get the most attention. It's homosexuality and then lust.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And I feel like those two are the only open sins that get looked at when there's way more open sins.
So much more.
So many more open sins.
Yeah.
And then the secret sins as well.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about those. Why is that? Why do you feel that's the case? I mean, I'm not saying that you like I just want to know what's your opinion on that.
What my reason why? You're funny. The way you come with these questions and stuff, you be on it. You're doing a great job, man. You this is what. Hey,
thank you.
The sit down. Like, make sure y'all get here.
Look at there and tell them.
Make sure y'all get to the sit down, man, because I'm telling you. So he gonna slide it at you right quick. The reason why I think people don't focus on the other sins, because if you stop doing those two, or you don't do the ones, let's say you said homosexuality, lust, drinking and smoking.
Yeah, we talk about drinking and smoking
Okay.
too. Yeah, that's
so. Right. If you fit in, if you don't do those things, no one can tell if you're doing it right or if you're doing it wrong. Just don't do those. And I think we can't tell. We all look the same. Right. We all look, but they can tell that you're not living right if you do those things. So if you just keep those down, no one will ever question your realness. No one will ever question your purification. They won't question you. Just don't do those things.
Just don't do those.
Just don't do those.
Yeah.
Because they will know.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why. Because the other stuff you can hide, maneuver, cover up, dress up. But if you do those, then they can tell how you living immediately.
Wow. I feel like, to me, that's fake. I feel like a lot of people don't rock with, and we about to go here now. This is the sit down.
You might as well
go.
What
I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people really don't deal with church and don't mess with church people because they're fake.
Yeah.
We're fake. The church is fake, man. And when I say that, I'm gonna explain why I say it, right? I'm gonna explain why I feel the church is fake. Because we believe that Christianity or being a follower of Christ is about perfection.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
It's about repentance.
It is.
And
I agree.
And I said this to a gentleman. I said, King David was a man after God's own heart, not because he was perfect. He was a man after God's own heart because he repented, right? And he led a lifestyle of repentance. There's no need for, if we can become perfect during our lifetime, there's no need for Jesus. And there's no need for grace to be sufficient. And grace doesn't have to abound.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like people look at the church and say it's fake because we put on a perfect persona. And then when our sins finally comes out, or when exposure happens, or we do what humans do, and we just human and get caught.
Correct.
You know, then all of a sudden it's a life hit.
Yeah.
But if you don't put on a perfect persona,
and be real about
it, then they can't judge you.
Correct.
We open ourselves up for judgment.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. When I go to work, I don't put on this Christian front. Like, the only way you're gonna find out I'm a believer is if we're having one-on-one dialogue. I don't post it. You're not gonna find it. I ain't gonna wear shirts that say it. Not that I'm against it, but do what you do, people. But I personally don't do it. Nah. Okay. But I mean, I don't do that. But then people, they're like, they know I'm a believer though.
Yeah, they can tell.
They can just tell. You know, I had someone, a lady, come up to me. She was like, and never talked to her. Now we talk, but at the time we weren't talking. She came to me. She was like, "Oh, Daniel, I want to ask you a question." She's like, "Can you do something for me? Because I know you're a believer. I know you're a Christian and you're a man of God." She was like, "Can you just pray for me? Because I'm going through this." And I was like, "Oh." I didn't be like, "Oh, you know." I was just like, "Oh, okay." But I'm pretty sure she talked to someone and they got it out. And then they found out. But I was just like, "Okay, you know, I'll pray for you." But, you know, I just believe that the street, like, people in the world, quote unquote, we're all in the world, but whatever.
Yeah.
But the people that aren't
Got
in the
it.
church regular, like, they recognize real.
Yeah, do. That's it right there.
Because they live it.
Correct.
They're like, yo, real recognize real. So they can see the fake. Like, we're all connected spiritually because we're all spirit beings.
Yeah.
So we can tell when a person's being fake or
Correct.
genuine. Just be real with them.
Just be real.
And then they'll respect that more than anything.
More than anything. And I think what you said is very just the being real part and the expectation. They won't have that perfect expectation.
Yep.
So you're pretending like you're so perfect. So when they fall, this is why a lot of people backslide and go out of church, because they feel like, well, they never messed up. I messed up, so God doesn't love me anymore,
Right.
or I'm not where I used to be anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have brought my book, but in the book you can learn more about that domestic
What's the
violence
name of your
stuff.
book?
Impatiently Waiting.
Impatiently waiting.
Yeah.
Dang, that's hard.
Yeah. So it's telling people don't rush, because you make mistakes when you rush. So yeah, but I do talk about a little bit of what I went through in the marriage in there.
Right.
But about the perfection in the church. And I'll let you in my business, so you ain't gotta squeeze it out of me this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I did, I would say 8 years consistent of celibacy. And
Wow.
yeah, it's in my book. And the perfection, because all I wanted to give God was the perfection. Here you go, God. Like, look at me. Like, this is how much I love you. I'm not gonna mess up. I'm not gonna just stand there, blah blah blah. And I wore a purity ring. I had a purity ring. And what happened was, I blew it. Okay. I got tired of waiting, this, that, and I blew it. And I was sitting crying about it, messed up about it. And I got the ring. I took it off, and I put it on a nightstand. And I wrote it on a nightstand. I said, because there's no need for me wearing this anymore, because I done messed it up. I blew it. And the Holy Spirit told me to put the ring back on. And I'm like, for what? I done blew it. He said, put the ring back on. I'm like, it don't even matter to me. I'm not, it's fake now if I'm wearing this knowing that I messed up or whatever.
Right.
And this is where he broke down to me, is the fact that he chose me, he loved me, he's called me, and he's using me has nothing to do with my perfections.
No. Ooh.
It had nothing to do with it. He said, I wasn't loving you. I wasn't using you because you were being perfect for me. He said, this is where my love abounds even more.
Right.
In this moment right here, where you feel like you're not worthy to be used by me.
Right.
You're not worthy to speak on my behalf. This is where he really truly showed me his love, not in my perfection, but in my fall. That his grace was sufficient for me. So he told me to put the ring back on.
Wow.
So, and just said that, and be reminded of his covenant. It wasn't because of the perfection. The covenant lasts even after the fall. This is a commitment, not just to perfection. Perfection, falls, mess up, hang ups.
Yeah.
We're in a covenant.
Wow.
And that didn't break because you messed up.
Nope.
So.
And every time that I've been used, or not, I'm not gonna say every time, a lot of times that people call on me, my phone rings and they want to hear from me, is when I'm at my lowest times. If I have done something, if I'm not, crossing all the T's, if I'm not living this, standard of living, that's when people call me.
Yeah.
Can you pray for me?
Yeah.
Daniel, I messed up. And I'm just like, man, I don't feel adequate to pour into them.
Correct.
But when I'm getting it, when I feel like I'm being, I'm good. He's like, okay.
I'll be back in the beginning. I'll be back.
I'm gonna leave you over there for a little bit. When I feel like I'm at my, spiritual highness. Nobody be wanting that from me.
Yeah.
But I believe that really solidifies who God is.
Who he
you know
is.
what I'm saying? Because it is about relationship, and it goes back to, God sees our heart. That's why he can adequately judge.
Yeah.
Man sees actions.
Correct.
And that's why God is not thrown away by actions, whether people are.
Yeah.
I don't blame people because they can't see
Correct.
your heart. So I kind of even got a little bit more patient with people in that area when I finally digested that revelation that they just can't see your heart.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of got to get them the grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carnal mind cannot see spiritual things. They're not going to understand it.
They're not going to understand it. So you kind of just got to be like, okay. And God sees the heart. That's why actions don't throw him off, because he's like, well, I know inward. Yeah. I know what you're striving to be. I know what you want to be. I know where your affections lie. You know? Yeah. You just got caught up in your flesh at the moment. Yeah. And it amazes me that he can be that forgiving. Yeah. And it's just, I can't even grasp, because I'm like, I wouldn't forgive me. But it's a blessing that he does. So you spoke a little bit about the book. Yeah. You want to go in on that a little bit more? When did you write that book?
2017. Well, 2017 I published it.
2017
I published it. But the writings in there came from when I first got saved. The poems, I have poems in the back. I gave my testimony in the front. The middle is the nuggets of wisdom, and the end is the poetry from when I first got saved. Wow. So a lot of it is little notes that I wrote when I got my heart broke. Little lessons, sitting in the car crying. Why you keep making me go through this? He heard me, I ain't even doing nothing, God. But he said, write it down. I said, what do you tell me to write it for? And I began to journal. And the book was for my journal and poetry of things that I wrote when I was at my broken place or whatever. Wow. Little heartbreak, you know.
Wow. Who were you listening to when you were going through that heartbreak? You listening to Drake?
No, I didn't see. I was, I wasn't listening to anything secular. No, I just started doing it about 3-4 years ago. I started turning up a little.
Did you watch the verses?
Yeah, I did. I did watch that last night.
Jeezy all day?
I mean, yeah, I don't really know Gucci like that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. You ain't missing that.
Yeah, I don't really know him like that. Yeah. But, back in the day. Right. But during that time, I only listened to gospel. Oh, so music. Don't play that dirty music. Don't. Please, not in my house. But for real, I used to be like just like that. For real. But now it's like, even now people come up to me, I'm like, relax. Go ahead, play your song or whatever, because it's like I'm somewhere else. Right. If I can fall over, if a song can make me, how can a song make you sin? Right. You can't. You can only be tempted by you. You. It's not the song. It's just you. So, but yeah. So. I think. I don't even. What I feel that you've found. You've realized that it's a heart issue. And I think the goal throughout life, because I got woken up when I awoken from this dream, that God was telling me that I need to be more patient with people. Yeah. It was a heart thing. Yeah. And what I've realized is that this life, this process of living, because God knows, like he knows our final destination. Like we don't know it, like he knows it. And the journey that we're on as humanity, it's your heart. Yeah. Right? So we get caught up on actions. Yeah. And we should not be caught up on actions, because that takes your attention, because you're trying so hard to keep your actions in line, but that does nothing for your heart. That goes back to the beginning, to why God sent his son, because the law was not able to make men pure. Correct. It was able to keep their actions in line. That part. And God knew that. He's like, it's not about your actions, guys. It's about your heart. What's in it?
What's in your heart? Because you're doing all of these things for me, but your affections aren't on me. Your heart isn't pursuing after me. That's the reason why Jesus died, to purify our hearts. So then now, if I can work it into your heart, your actions have no choice but to follow.
If you can get it in the heart.
If you can get it in your heart. So when I awoken from my dream, and when God spoke to me about being more patient with people, it wasn't about my actions. The heart. It had nothing to do with my actions. God was like, you need to be patient with people. Yeah. And I told my wife, I said, and she talks to me about patience a lot, being patient with people a lot. But it wasn't about my actions. God said, listen, I want you to be patient within your heart. Because he could penetrate my heart. She can only touch my actions. Right. But when God speaks to you, God penetrates your heart, because he is a spirit. And I ain't want to get into my preach bag. This is the sit down.
He said, "This is a sit down. We don't start preaching over. See you tired, and y'all. Let me stop."
Yeah. So this is your shirt. Can you get the shirt? This says "Millionaire in the Making." Look, this shirt is hard.
Yeah, thank you.
This shirt is hard.
I gotta get it in a V-neck.
So.
For the fellas.
Ooh, yeah, you get a little V-neck.
Yeah.
That's dope. So what I mean, I know why you put Millionaire in the Making.
Yeah.
But like, you want to talk a little bit about Millionaire in the Making?
Millionaire in the Making. That's me.
Yeah. Now I know why it's there.
Yeah, Millionaire in the Making. I'm a millionaire in the making.
Right.
That shirt, I'm real big on. Part of my brand is about positive words of affirmation. I believe what we think, we are.
Right.
So, putting those words out there, seeing it, walking in it, and believing it. So I make sure I put that out there for those of us who are in the process to becoming millionaires or becoming all of the things that God said. I wanted to make sure that I help manifest that,
right?
You know, and put that out there, put the verbiage out there. I think a lot. One of the main things with manifesting something is making yourself becoming that first. So acknowledging where I'm at. Okay, I'm not a millionaire yet, but I am a millionaire in the making.
Right.
So it's all about embracing the process.
Yeah.
And that's why I created that shirt, is embracing the process. I'm in the making. I'm becoming a millionaire right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I created the Millionaire in the Making shirt and brand. And
also, the Millionaire in the Making is a whole thing.
Yeah, I have a book that I'm going to redo, but it's going to have the nuggets in here on things to do to manifest the status that God is trying to bring us to. Yeah.
How important is embracing the process?
I think it's very key, because we only have control over where we are now, not where we're coming from, and not even where we're going. What we're doing right now in this moment, this process, is actually what matters and what's making it happen. This is all we have, this moment right here. So embracing that, acknowledging it, is very, very key. Acknowledgement of where you are and where you're getting ready to go. Because some people like to skip the process. They like to skip this part. Like, I just want to make it happen. Understand where you at. You in the process.
Right.
You're not there yet.
Right.
And I think, again, the realness.
Being able to
embracing the fact that I am becoming one. But you don't want to lie to yourself. Say, "Oh, I'm a millionaire." That's just what. But you ain't manifesting nothing.
Right.
Okay, I'm in the making right now, but I will become one.
Wow. I'm gonna get back to the clothes, but you talked about before this show.
Okay.
Before, you was talking about your videos. What are your lives mainly about?
Just honestly, a lot of people who watch my live, they think I just be going through the most. A lot of times I do be going through a lot of warfare, but most of it is, I like talking about things on there that people, real stuff. Right. And I don't make it churchy. I just be real and be transparent with them. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they tried me today, y'all. But so I make it real to show them, like, I feel what you feel. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm mad too, but this is how I handled it. And then I slide the word in there, and I slide out how, okay, I wanted to snap, but you know what? I said, God got me. So it's like I'm giving.
So you're just going on with it?
So, but just to be real, because it goes back to what you were just saying, too, people want realness.
Yeah, they do.
Like, oh, well, turn the other cheek. Ma'am, I am not, listen.
Sorry.
I am not. I don't turn the left one and the right one. You slap me one more time. I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen. Lord. But I just think, just being real with them, being transparent with them. When I come on live, I just wanna talk to them about stuff that people really go through behind the scenes. A lot of people, and there are a lot of people out there like myself. There are people who throw rocks and then hide their hand, and it's like I normally speak to those. Not the people throwing the rocks, but the people who feel like nobody understand what I'm going through. It's like, no, I understand the attack. The enemy think he's undetected, but So I just want to show them that you are seeing what you're going through is valid, even when it's not popular, when it's not a popular subject, when it's not a popular situation. I want to talk about those things.
Yeah.
So,
that's good.
that's it. It's just like, just give them a positive word, a little drama. That's the actor, you know, kicking in a little bit, you know. So
what you gonna act in next?
Probably my film. I didn't release my film. I had a film called Team Single.
Yeah,
I had a film. But you know, I'm gonna reshoot it. It was Team Single, a little spinoff from the book, just bringing, which is another part of my brand.
Right.
Creating films or movies that are real, like very, very vivid, very real. I just wanted to make people feel like the same way we are in this room, like it's a real situation, and that's how I want to create it. So Team Single, I didn't put it out, release it, but I'm gonna reshoot it. But that's what it was about. Just waiting. A lot of the principles that I had in the book, I put in the film, acted. Yeah. And I gave myself a cameo, you know, because I wrote it, so I had to show up in my own film.
There, right? No, I ain't gonna do all this work and not getting there.
Yeah, they're like, "What you doing?" I was like, "You about to film me? This is my scene. I just wrote it in."
This is my scene. I just wrote it in. I'm gonna try my hand at some acting. I want to act.
You can act.
I want to try it. I want to try it out. Okay. So you have Millionaire in the Making.
Okay.
Which one was this one? Oh, I'm Somebody's Good Thing.
Words of encouragement for me.
I like that. I'm Somebody's Good Thing.
I'm Somebody's Good Thing.
Now
Words of affirmation.
That's only in women's?
Yeah, because, you know, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing.
Dang.
Yeah.
I ain't up on my Bible.
Yeah. I'm Somebody's Good Thing. Yeah.
I like that.
That's for the women, just to give them confidence that you belong to somebody. You know, and he may see you wearing a shirt. So these shirts are also icebreakers.
They are.
Know? Yeah.
They are. Oh, that made me think of something else to something else to say to you. Listen now.
I'm listening.
Now, you hear, this made it into my brain for a reason, okay?
Oh, God.
I don't know how I got here, but it did. So you talking about I'm Somebody's Good Thing and finding a woman, right?
Look, I'm looking at this shirt because I don't know. You be throwing them boomerangs. It'll curve. It'll be hitting straight, and then he'll go, boom, he'll hit left. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Women always talk about, you know, oh, my Boaz, yes. Right? Right. But Boaz found Ruth.
Yeah, he did.
And Ruth was doing what?
She was gleaning.
She was working. So what's up with all these? I'm not coming at you. You don't speak for all the. I'm not saying that I'm throwing this all on you.
Okay.
But what you got to say to these to about fine women wanting a Boaz, but there ain't no Ruth.
No.
It gotta be working. You gotta be.
I didn't even say nothing. My spirit was playing. My spirit said,
you gotta be like he walked by. He's like, oh snap, who's that?
Right.
But
he did.
So
he did. I think that's a popular sermon that just went way left. It's like, oh, Boaz on Bo. No ma'am. Wait. That was for Ruth.
That was he was the boy.
God ain't got no more.
Okay. Ain't no more.
Ain't no more.
Ain't no more of them out there.
So wait for what God has for you the way He's gonna do it for you.
Right.
And I think it's good to be motivated and inspired by the stories that are there, but you have to find your own way. It's the principles. The principles. What was she doing? Grab the principles out of the message, and it's like they're trying to reenact the story. What is you doing gleaning? Oh, I hope you see me. I'm cleaning the church table.
I'm cleaning the
No.
It don't work like that.
It does not. Ruth, first of all, she was obedient.
Right.
She was being led by God. A lot of them are not even being led by God, you know. But just being led by God, being obedient. She was following instructions.
Right.
She said, "Take them clothes off." Okay, let me go change. Go lay his feet. No, y'all not. Don't do that. What instructions are God giving you?
Yes.
What instructions did He say? Don't text back. What did He say? But no, you seen in long paragraphs. What are we? No, like follow God's instructions, and I think that's the thing that a lot of them are missing. They're not seeking God. They're seeking the men. They're not seeking God. They're not seeking instructions, and they're not waiting. They've been impatient. God had to get on me one time. I'm gonna be real. He had to get on to me. I said, God, why is all these? Oh my God, why these men? This and that. He said, you ain't hid well enough. You always talking about you hid, but your leg out. That's how they finding you. That's how. Go hide yourself.
Go hide yourself.
You ain't hid well enough. If they can find you that easy, go hide yourself. Go hide yourself.
That's a whole nother topic right there.
Yeah, I know. It's not even just arm out. I'm like them little kids that play hide and seek, but one really here, you can't find me. I'm right here. So I would just tell them, just to chill out and relax. It's an honor to be found. It's an honor to be found, and that's something that I had to grow into. So I appreciate my years of singleness because I had to grow and be humble enough to be found. Oh, I ain't gotta wait on no man to pick me, baby. I got options. Okay, that's fine. You can keep having your options, but it's an honor for a man to choose you.
Ooh.
It is. It's an honor to be.
I don't think
found.
the women in the back of the church heard
they
that
don't have
right
to.
there.
It's growth to get to that place, and but it's an honor. And when a man finds you and you are the one for him, you don't have to say, "Oh my God, I wonder if he's the one." God, show me a sign. That man will make himself clear if he's the one.
Oh yeah. The
one gonna make that clear to you. So they don't have to keep digging in. I wonder. No, you don't have to wonder about a thing. He'll make that clear. He'll make it happen.
He'll make it happen.
Okay.
When we want you,
and
we want it, we gonna do it.
Yeah.
We gonna cut through all the other men. In your life. We gonna cut through the noise.
Make sure you know. I don't know who out there saying they me, but the real Slim Shady has stood up.
There it is. Man, that's a word right there.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sitting down.
Thank you guys. I'm so
me.
happy.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for the invitation. I feel important.
For sure. So I guess tell people how they get in touch with you, where they can find you, your socials, all that good stuff. That's gonna be in the description of the video too.
Okay. Yes, you guys can follow Coach Mei at Coach Mei, or as the lovely lady says, Coach Mei, Mei, CoachMei on Instagram. You can follow me at official Shemeka McNair on Instagram and on Facebook. So, and Twitter, Shemeka McNair. So it's all my name. You can either find me under Shemeka McNair or Coach Mei. Yeah. That's it. So appreciate you. Thanks for sitting down with me. Thank you guys for watching another episode of The Sit Down. You guys already know, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, but like always, you're not gonna watch and not subscribe, so I already know you subscribe. Check out the guests, shop The Sit Down. Look, this always be creating. This has been like one of the biggest slogans. People like to always be creating ABC. Okay. And we got hoodies now too, so check out the always be creating hoodies. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next time, I'm out. Deuces. Yeah.